I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching this live late edition of The Factor, analyzing the Republican debate this evening. Let's get right to our first perspicacious guest. There they are. Trish Regan, a Fox Business Network anchor who moderated the early Republican debate in Milwaukee, and Andrea Tantaros, co-host of Outnumbers, and I will be on that program tomorrow. All right, what's the headline tonight, Andrea?
Headline is Cruz shines, Rubio on the ropes, and Jeb is toast.
All right, so you are saying that I didn't think Rubio did poorly. Why do you think he's on a roll?
I think he got waffled. I think it was the first time, and I applaud Wolf Blitzer, it was the first time he was pressed on his foreign policy about toppling these dictators. That was a great question. Are dictators bad for the Middle East? And he waffled on that one. He had a hard time defending getting rid of the strong man because he didn't have a replacement. He also, Bill, was on the ropes with his immigration policy. And it was the first time, and he's an excellent debater, but it was the first time he wasn't able to bob and weave, and he didn't have answers.
Well, they tied him in.
Cruz, I would say, who really needs to come up with some answers on some of his policies, he does. He's going to have to answer. He was able to outmaneuver the moderator.
But it was Cruz versus Rubio. That's what it was.
Yeah,
they were going after each other for dominance because they're close in the polls.
Yeah.
How did you see it, Trish?
I did not see Cruz as doing quite as well. I think that the public, the voter, knows he's a very skilled debater, and so they expect that skill level from him. He delivered to a certain extent, but you know what, Bill? He's got some tough questions he's got to face right now when it comes to the security issue. That's the number one issue on people's minds.
Why would Cruz be vulnerable on that?
Why did he push to make sure that the NSA couldn't continue its metadata gathering program? He stands with Rand Paul on that.
They went back and forth on that.
They did, but he basically, you know, at the end of the day, he's the guy who was pushing to see the NSA pull back, a program that Keith Alexander, former head of the NSA, told me thwarted 24 attacks in Europe.
Well, I will say this, that Cruz dominated the debate as far as airtime was concerned.
Yeah.
He got more than anybody else. We don't have the exact time yet. We will have it. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but he's going to be close to the top. And he was assertive. Let's just give the audience an example. Roll the tape on Cruz.
In this instance, there are millions of peaceful Muslims across the world in countries like India, where there is not the problems we are seeing in nations that are controlled, have territory controlled by Al-Qaeda or ISIS, and we should direct at the problem, focus on the problem, and defeat radical Islamic terrorism. It's not a war on a faith, it's a war on a political and theocratic ideology that seeks to murder us.
Okay, so you say Cruz won the debate. You say who won? Who do you think won?
Look, I think Carly was solid as always. I don't know, is this going to get her anywhere?
Her style was good.
Style was good. She brought up business quite a bit. Well, no, I think she did have some good, substance when it came to.
She didn't really answer the question, though, and that bothered me.
I thought she was good in that she talked about the importance of intersecting with business. That you need more of a public-private partnership.
Yeah. Well, that's her bailiwick.
She didn't answer that question, and that was my issue with her. She kept saying, well, we need to work with these companies, but what I wanted was a stronger answer from her, because she's the one that can give it. She's the one that can say there's already a law on the books where the U.S. government, using the power of the DOJ, can pressure these companies not to harbor terrorists, and if they do, her DOJ
they have to hand over what the government was weak. Okay.
But I'm not saying she won. I just think she did a solid job. I think Bush also, he stood up straight, which is important.
It was Bush versus Trump and Rubio versus Cruz. Those were the subtext, and then the other 5 circled them. All right, here's my, and I hope you all appreciate it. I gave the ladies a first run in, and here's my assessment. Okay. No one won the debate. No one. Because there were too many people on the stage, and you can't really lock in. There's so much verbiage, nobody can hold it. I didn't think anybody did poorly, but Ben Carson continues to be so almost invisible out there. Particularly when everybody's angry and feeling high emotion on terrorism. I just don't think he gained anything in it, and I think he'll continue to lose. I thought Rubio had a couple of good answers, his, he isn't as bullish on wiping out all illegal aliens as Trump and Cruz are. So he's going to lose on that issue to conservatives. But he said he'd build a wall, and he said he would enforce immigration law and toughen up all of this business. Kasich was good. He's always good, but it's just not his time. Fiorina, was versed, not her time. Christie, I think, helped himself tonight. I think Christie is a terror warrior, and people got that impression. And then Trump and Bush amused me, and we'll get into that more with Krauthammer, because in the 8 o'clock, if you saw the 8 o'clock hour, Krauthammer said that there wouldn't be any attacks on Trump, and I said there would be. Hello, Charles, and you can't run and hide, Charles. We know where you are. So we're going to play a whole bunch of those attacks.